Doesn't make sense. So don't confuse, I said this a while back, don't confuse a dip with a top. And don't confuse like a shakeout with the top. Like nothing here is bearish. Literally nothing. Impulse higher, sideways correction with lowering volume in a compressive pattern is a continuation pattern. We go higher from this. Probably 7 times out of 10, right? Nothing's ever certain. We also had the OPEX this morning, the deribit options expiry, which was just over here. And we expired. Let me pat myself on the back. What did I say? 45 will be resistance, 40 will be support. We'll finish somewhere in the middle. Well, aren't I a genius? No. It's fucking pretty obvious because that's just what Bitcoin does whenever there is. And it was the perfect opportunity for alts to run. And so, what do? We longed a bunch of alts. The alts ran. We made money. Take profit on those alts. Go back to Bitcoin. This is how a bull market works. Back to the majors. Because while everyone else is de-risking thinking it is over, it's actually probably just about to start another big leg, led by Bitcoin, Ethereum, and probably Solana. And then we repeat it all over again in Q1. And we have a great start to the year. And January's green. And maybe even February's green for alts. And then it probably gets pretty bloody and messy. It goes much further than people think. And they are still sidelined and they don't get on board until it goes beyond what they think. This is not, I'm not saying what will happen. I'm saying what I'm playing. This is my expectation, right? The expectation of the people in the market is that it's all over either now or as soon as ETF's done. Nobody's holding a bullish thought until February, right? And so what will surprise the market most is if we just keep going up, right? So that'll surprise the market most. You just keep going up. Not with no pullbacks, but we just keep making higher highs and higher lows. And then the ETF comes and we sell off, but it bounces back. And everything pushes towards all-time highs. I was thinking about this last night and this morning because why not? Right? If you just remove all the preconceived ideas you have, why would it not go to all-time high from here? What's actually stopping it? Is there what, like, are people just dying to sell at 48 and 53 and 60? There will be people selling at all those points, yes. But the thing is, if we're in a consensus bull market, which we are now, it's consensus among the crypto natives or crypto funds and whales and market makers, all that, right? But we don't have retail yet. We know retail come back at all-time highs. So the incentive is much greater to push it to all-time highs. And just for people to not sell, right? For people to not sell, and then the new wave of buyers to buy, which is the ETF buyers first, and then probably just some hype as we go to all-time highs. Because if Bitcoin does do that, I'm not saying it will, but people are well conditioned for what happens when that occurs, right? If we put in another massive weekly green candle, people are going to start looking, right? They're going to start looking at 2018 and 2020, sorry. They're going to start looking at this and saying, oh, wait a minute, right? If we just go like that, they're like, oh, wait a minute. We've seen this before. I better load up, and load up, and then that's the top. Not forever, but just for a while, right? And I don't like, I think this happens. If it does happen, it happens fast, much, much faster than people think. To the point where this was like December going into January. And so you had all that happening, right? I don't think we get this last part, but timing wise, if it pushed up towards all-time highs, That would take you into February, right? So it can happen. It's super, super possible. It's not impossible at all in that time frame for Bitcoin to just keep going up and then go down after. That's the perfect place to take profit. It's all-time highs for this push. And so part of me thinks the market will just go there. Right? If you think about it, what would be like, it doesn't make sense to take profit here because you might as well just keep holding. Even if ETF sell the news, but your spot bags, right? You're like, well, we're going to all-time high, next year, 2025. So there's not much point selling here, right? People are like, oh yeah, we'll go to 40, 48 and that's the top. But then is that really that much different? Or I don't think, and again, I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't think that going from here to here, this enormous move, is going to change anyone's mind about what they should do with their precious Bitcoin. The scarce fucking asset, digital gold, greatest asset you could own in the last 3 years, and probably going to be again for the next fucking 10. Would that make you sell? No. But if we blast it off to there, people are, okay. Yeah, probably should. And that would couple with where the peak hype is. Because people would think, oh, it's the same thing again. We're going to just go now. And I know it doesn't seem like it right now. But if we went there, like if we were in February at 63 or 64, people will just be drawing their lines higher and higher. They will just be drawing their lines to 120. That's what they'll be doing. I know you might think, no, that couldn't happen. There's no way I could get there. People would take profit resistance. They will not. The higher this goes, the less likely people are to take profit. That's what reflexivity is. They're actually more likely to buy. Because they'll have reasons and they'll convince themselves that, wait a minute, every time we get to all-time high and we break out, it's a new bull run and we go massive. And so I don't think that would happen, by the way. I think if we get towards that, that's your time to take profit, right? If we have 2 or 3 big fucking weeks, or going into Q1 even, just up to 60, 68, 69, maybe a touch all-time high, I think that's where people get super interested. The normies come back and they just realize, shit, the FOMO is unimaginable. I need to get Bitcoin. I can't believe Bitcoin was 40K just a few weeks ago. I can't believe it was 25K a few months ago. I'm going to be so poor. I'm going to get left behind because I don't own a Bitcoin. The FOMO will be fucking unimaginable. And you've never felt Bitcoin FOMO if you haven't been here since 2020. There was no FOMO here. Nothing in here is Bitcoin FOMO. None of it. Not this. This is nothing. That was just a bear market rally. This, back to 30K, cool, yeah, well, it was 50K last year, right? None of that. Bitcoin FOMO is here and here and here. And it starts with the people who do know crypto, which, by the way, is fucking almost everyone. This whole thing about retail are not that dumb. It's not like they don't know it exists. Something like 40% of adults on the planet have owned crypto at some point. It's not a small number, and the vast majority of them are Bitcoin. So probably 25% of all adults have owned Bitcoin at some point. My numbers might be off slightly, but it's a big number. 2021 was the big shift for that, right? So if you've ever bought Bitcoin, you know this. There's no way that anybody has ever bought Bitcoin by accident. It's not possible to buy it by accident, right? So they've bought it because of some reason. And the reason is always price is going to go up. Those people will also have, because as soon as you buy something like that, either before it or after you buy it, you're going to actually research what it is. And they're going to research, it's this like scarce thing. And they're like, the best memes are, there's 21 million of them and that's it. There's not enough Bitcoin in the world for everyone. Not every person on the planet can have a Bitcoin. Not even every millionaire can have a Bitcoin. Right? There's more than 21 million millionaires. So the FOMO is just unimaginable when it gets to these levels. Because, and I'm sure you've felt this. I felt it. We've all felt it, right? The feeling, I got it real bad in 2 cycles ago when Bitcoin was just ramping up like that, and I was watching it because I knew about Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin in fucking 2014, sold it again, but it wasn't like trading it. I knew very little about it. Well, actually, no, I knew a bit about it. Obviously I knew about it to buy it in 2014. But I completely exited, never looked at it, didn't research, nothing like that until this run happened. And I just remember thinking, holy fuck, I had this thing at like $150 or something super low, right? And now it's at